wanted to show you how I've automated my Chinese shoe patcher. So it took sort of 4 things to do it. The first is the wheel is 22 inches, just slightly under diameter. So I bought this 220 XL with 5mm gap. And basically, I put that on there and took one tooth out and then glued it on with contact cement. So that sits on there like that. And then I had a 240 XL, which is the belt which goes to the motor. Then I got the appropriate cam here, the appropriate pulley, I mean. And then what you really need is a 1.5 amp low rev engine, low rev motor to make it work. So I did the best I can. It's not 100% as good as I would like it. I would like it to be a little more cooperative in starting. But once it gets going, it's generally okay. Be better with a stronger motor, but this one I have is actually a 220 volt motor. But I'm running it on 110 so that it runs a bit slower. So it works. And once you get it to a good warmed up into the right speed, it works very well. And it's still, you can still manually control it, which is good. And what I found is if you pump it at the right point of the cycle, it seems like a bit work. So if you do it at the right point of the cycle, you get it in time. It doesn't go too fast to control, and then you actually get a good action going. Otherwise it tends to go a bit wildly fast. So that's why if you could find a lower speed motor, that's 1.5, like a 5,000 RPM motor, which is 1.5 amp, that would probably be perfect, because it wouldn't tend to have to go so fast and you could use the power of the motor rather than having to cycle it like I do. However, it works. It was easy to put on, and now I can actually manually crank it when I have to, but the advantage is I can keep both hands free. So it's kind of fun, it works. I'm quite proud of myself with actually figuring out how to do that without having access to a lot of tools, because the other guy who did it in Russia, he has a lathe where he could carve all that in, but I thought, well, I don't have that. And the very worst, when it wears out, I can scrape it off and put a new one on, because I've got a spare belt. But it worked out to be brilliant. Just because it doesn't slip, the chances of it actually wearing out is slim in the very, for the amount you actually use it. But as you see, if you pump it in the right phase with the speed, it doesn't go stupidly fast, so that you can control it quite well. And if you get stuck, you just fling it, but at least the majority of the time, you can actually, it's not perfect, but at least the majority of the time, it keeps your hands free so that you have the ability to actually use it. It works. Keep the machine oiled. If you want to go at super speed like that, you can, but it's a little bit wild. So it's better if you can actually just pump it to keep it at the right speed. But a lower rev engine, a motor would be perfect. So that way you don't have to cycle the pedal. But it works. Considering I'm not going to do miles and miles and miles of sewing, it doesn't matter. The idea is when I need it, I've got, it's easy to turn. You don't even notice the motor on there actually. So you don't have to disconnect it to use, you don't really feel the weight of the motor. It's so perfectly balanced. You can turn it by hand, or when you want to engage the motor, you just engage the motor. So it gives you an opportunity to have free up when you need. So it works. So I'm pretty pleased with that. So to actually attach the motor, I will show you now.